best radio station around. I am not in the studio alone. Which team doesn't walk alone? Is it Liverpool or is it Arsenal? Which one of them? Kizzy K. Which of the teams doesn't walk alone? Liverpool. I'm right. So, I don't walk alone. Yeah, and this afternoon I'm not alone in the studio. I'm with former CP, a Commissioner of Police in Oyo State. His name is Chuks Ewong. He is a security expert and a security advisor. Everything security. Huh? Yeah, this man is here today to discuss insecurity in our country. Yes, as we approach 2023 election. A very beautiful afternoon to you, sire.
Good afternoon to you.
So good to have you join us again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's always so good to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Now, for those of us who called on Tuesday, who wanted to make one complaint or the other, this is the right, avenue for you to do that. Okay, you want to drive home a message, you want to pass a message across, you want to let him know something as regards security or insecurity in your area or in whatever part of the state or whatever part of the country, what you feel about insecurity in our country or insecurity in the state, Lagos State. You're free to do that today, okay? You're free to do that. You're free to call into the studio, and of course, let's talk about it. If you are not safe, I'm not safe, then the country is not safe. Welcome on board. Today, I will start from here. We have some few issues to just touch on today, and then I open up the studio lines for you to partake. First of all, is this idea or this belief that some uniformed men have as regards breaking the law in our state. They feel that they can do one way and nothing would happen. They can drive through one way and nothing would happen. They can drive through BRT lane and nothing would happen. Where others are being arrested and you see them with their, khaki and, hey, that's a military man, who don't go there. In fact, you say, how far now? I better make I follow. That's how it is. So I want you to please shed more light on this thing, because I would love to take you to, remind you what happened some weeks back, a few weeks ago, where a yet to be identified soldier engaged in a brawl with a policeman on Kata Bridge, Akongbo, right, in Lagos Island, local government area of Lagos State. Now, it was gathered that a driver was conveying the soldier to a destination in the state when he drove against traffic and was stopped by a policeman attached to the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Unit for violating the traffic law of the state. Now, the soldier reportedly stepped out of the vehicle and challenged the officials for stopping the vehicle. For me, that's not acceptable. But as a policeman, I would want you to, talk on that. Is it that these guys have some level of, they can do some things and go away with it? They can break the law and go away with it. Like some feel that you cannot arrest a policeman. You cannot arrest a soldier. These guys are above the law. They look at themselves as above the law. CP, talk to us about this.
Well, the scenario you have presented is a very unfortunate one. And it is, by all standards, below the average expected conduct of trained personnel who are in a position to always be disciplined.
Always be disciplined.
Yes,
okay.
Which is the bedrock of the force or bedrock of the system. Having said that, the picture you have just painted is a very disgraceful one, and sad. Sad in the sense that it is sending a wrong signal. By all standards, nobody is above the law. And I'm sure the person that would have done that would have been a non-commissioned officer or the rank and file in the military or the army.
What do you mean by non-commissioned officer?
Those are the ones who are other ranks. Those that grew from being recruits.
Okay.
While the commissioned officers are the officer corps from second lieutenant, in the army upwards. You find out that those senior officers cannot do things like that. They cannot. They will not be party to it. And then for that recalcitrant non-commissioned officer, if the military authority lay their hands on him, I think he will go in for it. Because what the scenario he was trying to create is that he's above the law because he's wearing khaki. And it's not so. It's not like that. The army I know will never tolerate that. That is why they have the military police who are out to enforce discipline on erring military men, especially in the army. They have their military police. The Air Force have their air police, and the Navy have their own naval police. And they are there to enforce discipline and also to check excesses of these other ranks in the military. So it is inappropriate for anybody to, because he's wearing khaki, he will tell driver of the commercially painted bus, to begin to drive against the traffic on one way. What he could have done if he were to be smart was to quietly step out of the vehicle and go and enter another vehicle and continue with his journey and leave the commercial bus driver to carry his cross. It is not for him to go to challenge somebody who did not take himself to the road to do the job. He is there not on his own personal volition. He is there based on the appropriate authority detailing or deploying him with others to go and perform that function. And you see, in our society, when such people are out, they are not out on their own. They are out to ensure compliance to rules, orders, and directives of the government. And it's for the good of the generality of the public. Anything outside that turns to anarchy, where that means might is now right, that people can do anything they want or they like and get away with it. So I believe that man in khaki would have been very ignorant to have behaved the way he did from the picture you have painted, and this mark of indiscipline, which is not synonymous with the standards in the military. I'm sure he's very lucky the army didn't get his true identity and his picture and his formation. They would have used him to set example. The army I know. Because over the years, while in the system, I've worked with so many military officers. Some are still there, some have retired. Some got to the rank of even major generals and one or two former chiefs of army staff.
Okay.
Yes, I've known them personally, So they cannot take such things. They can't. I'm telling you. So it's unfortunate. Such a thing should not be encouraged in any way. They need to conduct themselves decorously when they are out there in the public.
One thing again is that, like you rightly stated, yes. Like I remember a situation on Lagos Ibadan Expressway where, a policeman was actually trying to, was pleading with another policeman to allow him use one way, and eventually he was allowed to go, and some other persons were, agitating like, no, wow, no,
it is
it's
wrong.
wrong.
It is wrong. Let me tell you one thing. In a civilized clime,
They believe once you have the khaki, you are just this.
it's wrong. It's wrong. Let me tell you, in civilized climes, there are categories of public functionaries that can violate both the BRT lane and even beat traffic lights. But this category of persons must be on active duty, not in their personal vehicles. So maybe when there is emergency, people like the fire service, the ambulance, the police, the military, and they must be in official vehicle, and it is obvious that they are responding to a distress call. So in that scenario or in that case, nobody challenges them. Nobody takes it that they have done something wrong, because and even the public will give them way. They will appreciate that these people are responding to distress. Not when you on your own, you're just driving your own personal vehicle, then you can begin to drive against one way, thereby endangering the lives of other oncoming vehicles. Because many of them are not expecting that they will see you, coming in opposite direction, where they are supposed to have the right of way, whether it is 4 lanes or 5 lanes. You're not supposed to be there or going against the traffic. You don't have any reason whatsoever to do that.
In Nigeria, they say when you want to break a law, get a policeman or get a soldier inside the vehicle, or go with a policeman.
That we are not justifying it. That's what I'm telling you, that it is absolutely wrong. And the superiors or the big commanding officers or the people in charge will never give kudos to that. They will never be party to that kind of indiscipline by members of their service. That's just the situation.
Pointing or relating to that situation that happened at Akongwa I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
When you watch the video, I think it was this week, not even last week. In a video, a soldier was seen, attempting to disarm the policeman.
He's very lucky they didn't kill him.
Really? How do you mean?
He's very, very lucky.
Was it disarming the policeman?
You don't even try that with somebody that is armed. You don't. Under which circumstance will you go and disarm him? When he's doing his official duty. The man should thank his stars. He's a very lucky person. Even his colleagues would have blamed him for attempting that suicide. It is suicidal. Because they don't know you. That uniform you are wearing, how are they sure you are not an armed robber? And you're coming to disarm him? He's very, very lucky. I'm telling you the fact. Somebody would have shot him on the leg and, no.
But if it degenerates to that extent,
yes,
a lot will happen. A lot will, go down.
No,
when you have soldiers surrounding the policeman, or 2 or 3 policemen, it's always brutal.
See, there are situations. Well, from what you're narrating now, the policemen were very professional. That was why they didn't go to the extent of, demobilizing that man. That's why I told you the man was really lucky. Because it is very, very wrong. It's inappropriate for you to see an armed personnel and you go to disarm him. On what grounds? You don't do that. So long as he's performing his lawful duty. If you feel aggrieved, there are channels of ventilating your anger. You try to get the details of where the person is serving. You go back to your formation and lodge your complaint. Then your superiors will now get across to the formation or division, as the case may be, or command, where that particular person or persons were deployed from.
Okay.
And take it from there.
Okay. Okay.
It's not for you to go to the road and begin to show that because you're wearing khaki and that you have been trained, you can disarm somebody who is carrying a rifle with live ammunition. Hi. It is suicidal. But I'm sure they would have looked at a whole lot of things, like you said, and decided to manage the situation. In fact, this story you are telling me, some other person also narrated the same thing to me. That even some naval ratings came and they were blaming the man. The
soldier.
Yes. That why would he try a thing like that? You know, they took sides with the police against the man. They told him that we don't try a thing like that. Okay, now let us look at the rationality in his conduct.
All right.
What was he fighting for? Fighting for a downfall driver who had done the wrong thing, driving against one way. I mean, that will show you the level of reasoning, his mentality. What he could have done, was quietly walk away and leave the man to carry his cross. Yes, but what he was trying to show is that since I'm inside that vehicle, who are you to stop the vehicle?
Okay.
That you...
An officer is inside his vehicle.
Yes, and you're trying to stop it. You're trying to prove to the people inside the vehicle that this uniform I'm wearing is not the power that everybody should. You see, those type of things or nonsense was happening during the military regime, military era. Since democracy came in place in 1999, the military I have attended conferences, workshops, and seminars with have condemned that type of rascality.
Okay.
Yes, especially of these other ranks. And many of them, too, comport themselves very responsibly. They will not partake in things like that. Even if by error they are in such a vehicle going against one way, and the government agency, enshrined with the authority or powers to checkmate excesses of irresponsible drivers, stop such vehicles, he would have quietly left the man to carry his cross and walk across to the other vehicle and enter the other side of the dual carriageway and enter another vehicle and go his way. Not for him to begin to show power. Which power? Once that uniform is removed from him, he's finished. He can't even walk the streets and make noise. And the worst thing that can happen to anybody is to be dismissed from the service.
You mentioned that on Tuesday.
Yes. When they dismiss you, you have absolutely no value, and you become how do I put it, a societal liability. You have absolutely no value. So people should check against such reckless conduct.
CP, why is it that when someone is on khaki, immediately you're given that khaki?
Not all of them.
There is this power that comes to play almost immediately.
No, not all of them. We see them all over the place. Many of them are very responsible. Though. I'm telling you. Many of them are very responsible. They just go on their own. They don't look for anybody's trouble.
CP,
don't look for their trouble.
Let me ask you a candid question, please.
Yes.
I will need your candid answer, rather. Let's go back to when you joined the police force.
Yes. Yes.
That very moment when you were given that uniform.
Yes.
How did you feel? How was it feeling like? How did you see yourself? Maybe we should let's trace it from that. That area, because some people.
Well, by the way I was trained, I saw myself as somebody that should serve the public. And I didn't, for once, arrogate unnecessary, excessive powers to myself. I never did it for one day.
But you felt this is power coming.
No, no way.
Really?
I never for one day did that. In fact, I was always knowing fully well that I am not of the other rank. I am a commissioned, or I was rather a commissioned officer. I was supposed to be a supervising officer. An officer expected to have subordinates.
Okay.
So it was incumbent on me to be sure that the people who work under me will conduct themselves in a very responsible way and manner. So I didn't give room for those working under me to get petitions against them. And I have never been a party to where those who work with me directly or indirectly will brutalize any person or persons, both during the military era down to the civilian dispensation. I never for one day allowed that. So this idea of people saying, hey, because I've won, you are the power or the uniform has been given to you. It is not your own, it is government power. You're only there to exercise some authority on behalf of the government. And if you step out of line and it backfires, you are on your own. The same government that gave you will disgrace you out of the uniform. It's as simple as that. They will disgrace you out of the uniform. So people should be mindful of that. And that is why these other ranks don't have sufficient duration in training. Usually they do 6 months basic training. It's the same thing even in the military, 6 months. But at the time, they changed it to 9 months, which would have been better because that would have been, tailored towards core professionalism. And at the same time, maybe because of paucity of funds.
Okay.
In the good old days, people used to do what we call not just promotional courses. They do developmental courses within the rank. Maybe you will be a constable. After a while, they schedule you to go for development course.
Okay.
That is what we call training and retraining program. It will make them to be more professional. But for an officer, then, as a cadet ASP, I did 18 months training, 18 months in academy. Within that 18 months, I did other courses that took me out of the academy. Sometimes 4 weeks in one location, I'll come back. Another time, 4 weeks, just like that in different times. And by the time you come out, you now know what it means to be a commissioned officer. And you tailor yourself and conduct yourself in that way and manner. That was then.
We'll come back to this issue of training.
Yes.
We'll take it gradually.
It's all right.
Take it gradually. Now, one more thing I would want to touch on is this idea. I mentioned this earlier, but I just wanted to, throw more light on it. Soldiers feel that they are higher than the police. They just have this mentality of a man with this soldier, whatever, is higher. So a policeman has no reason to say hello or stop him from doing anything. They call them bloody civilians. I don't know. They are just, I don't know. It has generated a whole lot of brawl, in the past and even recently.
You want me to make comments on that?
Yes, please.
The thing is that it's unfortunate we are having scenario like that, and it has not quietly eased off. There are two different agencies. They are children of the same father, but from different mothers.
Mm-hmm.
The constitution is very clear. Each of them have his own role to play. Each of them have their own responsibilities. Where they have a bit of friction is where one now tries to leave his own area of responsibility and want to go and do the work of the other person.
Okay.
That's where they usually have the conflict, from what I noticed over time. But all the places I've worked, I've always checkmated against that by relating directly with the commanding officers of any military formation around me and begin to, on time, at least put a check to it. Let this person know that your bound starts from here and ends there. Do your own. There won't be any conflict. Leave these other people to do their own. You understand what I'm saying? It's like now, you say because you are a police officer, you go to maybe either road safety office or you go to immigration and begin to tell them that this thing they are doing is wrong, they should not do it, that it is done this way. Who are you to do that? Are you trained to be a road safety officer or you're trained to be immigration officer? Do your own, leave them to do their own. If you have interest in whatever they are doing or you need help, you approach them in a very responsible and reasonable way or manner. You don't try to flex muscles. Is there anything two of you are dragging? The duties are defined. The work of the military is very clear to secure the country against external aggression.
Exactly.
So you protect the territorial integrity of the country. And then in some cases, insurrections, internal subversion. Nobody say you should go and begin to check papers and check traffic, and that's not your work. Or begin to tell the policeman you're not supposed to stop vehicle or search vehicle. Are you now the person supervising the work of the policeman? So you can now see where they're having that conflict. But in frankness to the senior officers in the armed forces, they don't tolerate that nonsense. That's why in any place we find ourselves while I was in service, we always relate very well. We meet in their officers' mess. Sometimes they come to the police officers' mess. We interact. And they go back and tell their people, look, if you create problem with the people in the police and we get you, we just court-martial you and get you out of the service. Because you will not do your own work and go and do their work. Yes, I had a GOC like that who I worked very closely with. His own, he wouldn't hide it. In your presence and in the presence of other senior officers, he will say it the way it is. He said, go and put your house in order. I'm warning all of you. Garrison commander, this battalion commander, so on and so forth. I don't want to hear any nonsense that anybody is stopping policeman from doing his work. If I hear it, I'll take it up against you to the army headquarters. I'm telling you. The GOC never minced words. And they drive the message down the line. So you see these recalcitrant ones doing this nonsense on the roads.
Okay.
Nobody has sent them. It's not their senior officers or their supervising officers that will tell
Probably
them.
they are just being arrogant.
Unnecessarily. Unnecessary use of force. And it's not, it doesn't make sense. They are supposed to work in synergy to pursue the common enemy, which are the kidnappers, the terrorists, and all these bandits. They are supposed to work as a team because all of them are targets to those unfriendly forces. They are targets. If these animals see anybody in uniform, They won't say, no, leave this one is military. We won't touch him. This one is police. Deal with him. They'll deal with all of them. That's what they've been doing. So all of them should work in synergy. In some places, they work like that. You see DSS, Army, Police. They sit down as a team and plan operations and go. And sometimes, unluckily for some of them, sometimes they may run into ambush. Yeah. And they will get lost in the action, which is very, very sad. So these are the areas they should look at, not to come to the public to disgrace themselves and saying whether I'm superior. Which superiority are you talking about? In which statute can you bring out that says, that paper that says that you are superior and this one is inferior? There's nothing like that. So it's a thing of the mind. Some of them who have refused to tell themselves the truth and follow the reality.
All right, thank you. Thank you very, very much, CP. Before I move on, before I take a break, let me also mention that a police inspector, Ben Thompson, and an official of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Caleb Akerele, have been hospitalized after they were allegedly assaulted by two bus drivers who were dressed in military camouflage along the Eko Bridge. Two bus drivers driving, two bus drivers who were dressed in military camouflage along the Eko Bridge. Now, the drivers were reportedly conveying passengers on a one-way route from Costain to Ijora or Lopa in commercial buses when they were accosted by the traffic officers. The officers reportedly ordered them to turn back, which started an argument. The drivers were said to have pounced on the officers and beaten them up. The LASMA spokesperson Taufik Adebayo, who confirmed the incident, said one of the military officers was apprehended.
Very good. You will now see the way the army would treat that person. If, those who are on the field should do a follow-up. Because number one, the army will ask him one question. Are you on duty or you are on your own?
Okay.
And the answer will be, I am on duty. So you're on duty and you're driving Danfo? Because you say it's commercially painted vehicle with passengers.
Okay.
Is that the way, did the army send you to drive Danfo and be conveying from Ijora Olokba to Costain? Is that the work the army sent you? It's very good that they apprehended him, and then they will go and inform the appropriate military authority, and you see what the military police will do to him. Do a follow-up. It's an assignment.
I will.
Yes.
I will.
Do a follow-up. Tell the men in the field to follow the thing to the I don't know which formation where they handed him over to. But there is no way. Number one, that Danfo will first be. No. I'm sure the last man would have impounded the Danfo, the traffic management. Then they will begin to investigate who is the owner of the Danfo. Is it the soldier that owns, or he has become a driver for somebody who owns Danfo? Those are the areas they will look at. If at the end of the day he's the owner of the Danfo, there's no law that stops him from owning taxi or Uber, or bus or whatever the case may be. But you have to hire a driver to do that. If you're military uniform, you go and perform your military duties. Then maybe if you don't have a driver and you want to do what they call meet up.
Exactly. I wanted to mention that.
If you want to do meet up, you go and keep that military uniform. And you won't even disclose your identity that you are a soldier. Then you can now drive your boat or your Uber or your bus or taxi, as the case may be. And as you're doing it, you comply with the rules of the engagement, which other bus drivers or taxi drivers are subjected to. If they are paying some, whatever they take from them in the park by way of ticketing and so on and so forth, you join them to pay.
No, but these guys, they hardly want to do that. Mostly when they know that those people, those unit, that a certain park,
Yes.
knows that they are this
Maybe
certain man
maybe
is
that one
is a policeman
that
or
one is on
a military man.
that's on concessionary basis. It is not a you can't force it on them. They have their rules and regulations. Who are you to force it on them? Especially when they look at you as other ranks. They may consider senior officers because no senior officer will descend that low to begin to drive a bus or taxi.
Okay.
Maybe he's a captain or major and he has been able to save to buy that to augment whatever salary he gets. So sometimes if they impound, he will just quietly come and talk to the unit head of that park and say, that vehicle you people impound is my own. Is there any way you people can at least consider and release it? They make use of their head. The unit people will go and put test together and say, that man senior military man. And I want to make we leave the thing, make it they go. The thing will just, he will call driver, say, oh yeah, bring vulcanizer, they inflate the tires, he will drive away and go. And the same applies to police. They'll say, that motor belongs to DCO or patrol officer in a Bonre division as per cooperation with other ministry. They impounded it without knowing, saying that the man motor, make we leave and make it they go. Now they are the man they make meet up. And they will let the vehicle go. These are the ways to do it. You can't begin to use force, brute force on the public.
You know, these people, I've seen a situation where they applied force on the way, on the road. I think
it's unlawful now. It's illegal.
The man was trying to let another driver know that he is a military man. The next thing he brought out was this koboko. Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Da, 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 da. It was the way he was beating the other man. Everybody was shouting. You know, immediately you bring out your koboko, people just believe, this man is a soldier, so don't go there.
The man,
everyone is scared of immediately.
The man would have been very lucky that he didn't do that in Coca or Mile 2 or Oshodi. The area boys would have feasted on him if he dares lash anybody with that koboko. And he's alone. Hey. They will beat him to pulp. Have you seen the way the area boys behave? Who are you going to hold? By the time they are done with him, they'll just disappear into thin air. And the man, if he's actually a military personnel, when he gets to his base, everybody will blame him. Why do you have to go and do a thing like that? It's suicidal. You don't try it. You don't do things like that. You know you are wrong, and then you pull out koboko and begin to flog people. Who and what are you?
An officer of the law.
No, it's wrong. Bro. You don't do things like that. Anyway, as time goes on, we are gradually advancing and developing in the cause of democracy. I think we'll get to a point. We'll get there sometime, someday, where people will know their limits and avoid doing things that will ridicule that uniform they are wearing.
Really?
I'm telling you, we'll get there. If you go to developed countries, from time to time you see people move around quietly. Nobody knows even. They don't even make noise about it. You hardly see them walk around individually in uniform. They must have been either in a bus all together, and they have a mission, or they are inside their truck. They are going for a purpose. They have a certain destination, and they don't disturb anybody on the road, and they follow the rules. I'm telling you, they follow. They'll come to traffic light. Maybe they are not on emergency. They'll all still stand there and be waiting till the light shows them green. They move.
They move.
Especially like in New York. There are some areas. New York is highly a congested area, or a congested place. Between Manhattan's Brooklyn down to Queens, you see a lot of traffic lights. So it can take you more than 2-3 hours to get to your destination. And there's no way you beat the light. ticket will immediately follow. So you have to be following it. When you get there, you stop, you wait. If you're going to the airport and you're doing a flight, you have to leave on time, otherwise you miss your flight. So this is not the one you say because you're this, you're that. Nobody knows you, nobody cares.
The system is the system, yeah.
Oh, yes. Even those military personnel going for assignments, they leave on time. All of them will be in their truck, in their bus or whatever. I've been seeing them severally now, anytime I'm out there overseas. They'll be going quietly, no noise, nothing. When they get to the airport, everybody will carrying his or her suitcases and, backpack and all that, and go and queue quiet. You won't even know that they are there. And right here in Nigeria, those of them who are going for peacekeeping missions, whether for AU, African Union, or the one of the United Nations, you see that those ones have even been trained locally. The way they will conduct themselves, they'll just stay together and wait and follow the formalities, and quietly queue in, enter the flight, and take off. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Yes, I will get to. Let me go on a very short break. I will be back to take all of your calls. Yeah, I know you've been planning to call into the show, right? Yeah, you will do that, anytime soon. But then let's go on a very short break, and when I come back, I'll take your calls. It's Voice of the People, and this is Matters. We're talking Insecurity Nigeria. Stay there. I'll be right back.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kole people they strike. We don't become country of strikers.
Even light self, they no fit give us. Don't run for motor. Even leg self, they get accident.
Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, they vote Sokoloko Bango share.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára, òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọ fi ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala ndeze temeka muna so n'ekio.
What do we want? Now make the rule us well.
Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
It's still Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Yeah, welcome and welcome again. This time around, like I told you, we will open up the studio lines for you to be part of this conversation this beautiful afternoon. Oh yeah, the number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, 0700 903 903 903. And of course, don't forget, we're streaming live via all of our social media platforms. Yeah, YouTube, you can go there and drop a comment, like I would always say, because I love you to use that, platform. Go to YouTube and please drop a comment right about now, and then you can stream live. The CPE is still here, and will respond. I mean, he will respond, to all of your questions. Okay, again, on YouTube, VOP 90.3 FM, or in full, Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Okay, and you can also do that via WhatsApp. All right, yeah, let's do this quickly now. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon to you. That line 0.3 or 3.
Yeah, 90.3, 903.
90.3.
Exactly.
90.3.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm calling your line.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thanks for calling.
I had the discussion between you and CPSO, you said?
Yes.
CSPO. So.
CP, Commissioner of Police.
Okay. Commissioner, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Please, if I may ask, is it okay for a police commissioner to say go to so area boys will beat you. Go to so area boys will beat you. When is want to take control of the security, what are the area boys still doing in that area?
Okay.
If I may ask so.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, nobody is advocating that area boys should operate freely. That's not, maybe you didn't follow the analysis.
I'm not sure.
He didn't follow the analysis. What we are saying is that there are certain misconducts somebody would display, especially in area that is notorious with area boys. Take it or leave it. The boys are notorious and they are known to habit such places. He becomes an area boy when his behavior is viewed as being violent and unacceptable. But if he's not disturbing the peace of anybody, you cannot call him area boy. He can pretend that he loads vehicle, or that he's a vulcanizer, or that he's a laborer who helps people to do one thing or the other. But he turns tiger when he sees that your behavior has infringed on his own fundamental rights. And they work as a pressure group. So when you have pushed them to the wall, especially you have maybe inflicted injury on one of them, they all come out and retaliate. And before you say it, they have disappeared into thin air. That was the scenario we were trying to express. We are not trying to tell you that it is in order for area boys to begin to attack people. That's not what we said.
No.
So he didn't listen well. He didn't get the analysis.
All right. Let's take more calls. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you. Kindly move away from your radio set.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Kola Wale, speaking from Lagos.
All right, Kola.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just want to comment on the issue of civility with members of the public as it relates with our security personnel. Can you hear me, please?
Very well. Please go ahead.
And I'm not particular about any security, maybe military, police, DSS, civil defense, and what it could be.
Okay.
I think there should be regular reorientation of our security people, that the privilege of the uniform and the gun that they are carrying does not place them above the law of the land. Because I think the general perception they have is that because they are wearing uniform, they are carrying weapons, and that innocent citizen is not armed, then they consider themselves as being superior in person over such. I think the CP was painting a scenario of what is applicable in the Western world, where even someone that is not even going to an emergency here in Nigeria, you just see them blaring siren for no reason. You see them using the one way for no reason, and nobody can have them question. So I think there should be orientation, sensitization, regularly training. It goes beyond just saying, "Oh, we can achieve it." Thank you very much.
I appreciate your call. Thank you so very much. 0700 903 903 90. You want to know? Talk on something?
No. What he said is 100% correct.
Okay.
It's exactly the same thing we've been emphasizing on.
0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
This is Ahmed Oladewaji Fatunimo from Surulere.
Welcome, Ahmed.
You are welcome. I want to chip in about the matter you are discussing there.
Please do.
Firstly, what Oga said last, the one I heard about this area boy, it's not as if the man is trying to support the area boy by saying that the person that did that kind of thing that cannot do it in Oshodi and he mentioned on other places. And it is true that they cannot do that such a thing there because of the area boys that are in that place. That's number one. Number two, that very particular man that caused the problem that happened, we had it in the news this morning, And if you can even look at it very well, how can it be happen? So definitely is the one that told that driver to pass that place. And that place that they pass is the wrong place for them to pass. So to me, it seems as if they are giving the driver power to do what they don't supposed to do. And these police people, they are doing their job, they are performing their duty. Oga have already said it, that what the man supposed to do is to just lead the driver together with the police and find his way, instead of dragging with the policeman. Let's assume that that policeman shoot him or shot him. What will result to? Nobody can say what will result to. But I know they will come and retaliate. And by the time they come there to come and retaliate, it will not affect the people that don't know anything that is happened. Because if that kind of a thing happened to a civilian, let's assume that that man is not a military, it's a civilian. I'm very sure this is not what we'll be saying. The policeman will have shot that very person. So thank you very much. That is what I have to say to that. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your call. Yeah. 0700 903 903 903. Like I said, I want to get your responses on these. Aside that, some persons called on Tuesday and we were not able to, take all of the calls, right? You're free to call in now and maybe lay a complaint, maybe one or two, as regards security in your area or in the country. Yeah, we're just talking about insecurity. 0700 903 903 903. Like I said, we're streaming live, okay, on YouTube also. Go there and drop a comment, and hey, WhatsApp is also there. Let's begin to discuss. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm Dike from Relay, Igon.
Okay.
Well done, job. CP, God bless you, okay?
Bless you too.
Of the elections, God bless you.
Bless you too.
Please, CP, let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
Has any policeman authority to drive, or to ride Okada on a place that the state or whatever, or the government have banned? Something like Lagos Airland, Maryland, and other places. Has any policeman or any man on uniform to drive Okada? That's a commercial Okada.
That is very wrong.
That's my question, please. Because I've seen them. Some of them put on the police cap or army cap. At times they put something that they show that they are enforcement. So why, if it is wrong, why are the authority keeping another man?
Well, the reason is that it has not been reported to the authority. Nobody has taken out time to bring it to the attention of the authority. If they do, the authority has a way of seeking out for such defaulting personnel. That is a default, quite all right. Be that as it may, Okada is banned for purpose of using it for commercial reasons. But at the same time, you can see dispatch people, these courier people,
dispatch
riders, and so on and so forth. They still, move through the streets. And the same thing applies to both the military, police, and other security agencies. They also have their own dispatch riders who officially go to either bring mails or run errands. So to that, intent and purpose, you cannot say that they are doing the wrong thing. But it will turn to illegality if he now turns it around and begin to use it for commercial purpose.
Okay.
That one is not appropriate and it's unacceptable. And if these conducts are reported to the appropriate authority, for instance, for the police, they have a way of checkmating or, arresting such situation. The CP usually have his CP monitoring unit.
Okay.
He has a provost and he has the X squad. So he can use them to deploy to the areas where these complaints are coming up. And any erring officer that is caught would accordingly be sanctioned or dealt with.
All right. Thank you so much, CP. Let's take this call. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
I'm Uke Buchetaba, calling from Abula, Lagos.
All right.
I want to talk about there was a thing that happened at Abula bus stop last year. Like, many people were like in haste to get to go. So a military officer was also with the bus stop looking for bus. So when people were trying to get into a bus, they maneuvered the military officer. So he was not like insulting listener and was hitting the vehicle. He broke the one of the glass in the vehicle. And so one boy inside the vehicle now made a comment that why does this uniform men why they always behave like this? So when he made that comment now, the man now drew the boy out of the vehicle and said, listen the boy. I was dragging towards Parag at Alakia. So I'm going to know that kind of behavior that as that comment that the boy made, was the boy alone to make that kind of comment, and he really deserve that type of business because of that comment he made.
It's over. Thank you. Yeah. Still one of those things we've been talking about.
Yes.
All right. 0700 903 903. Let's see if we can take maybe one or two more calls, and then I take on the CP again. This time around is going to be on certain. Okay, let's take this one. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
Sorry, my name is Chimena, and I want to speak with the CP and ask you this question. Why is it that because I have observed that some people are highly above the law in Nigeria, and we are talking about insecurity. Like, from my observation, I have been observed that Dangote Motor are not be checkmated in worldwide, which means corruption can be followed through that motor. Hello, sir.
I'm listening to you.
Yes, sir. And even look at the corruptions and emphasis of border closing, and even the motors cannot be stopped in anywhere in Nigeria, even in Ghana. So why can't us as a city and a higher commission officer like that work on those insecurities so that the future of Nigeria in police force and everywhere, and this season not to having all this kind of animation, because since we have a lot of people have stopped doing the shooting and all the rest we have been hearing, but nobody knows what has come out of all those information here and there. So what can we do to stop segment all those things, and nobody should be above the law?
Thank you so much. The CP will answer that question.
He mentioned Dangote as an instance. Dangote vehicle.
Now those guys are above the law.
They are not above the law. The only thing is that they have a standard. And if you notice, their trucks are meant to carry specific type of goods, whether it is cement, or it is fertilizer, or it is pasta and all those macaroni and so on and so forth. So once it's fully loaded, they'll give him the way bill, or her, because they still have female drivers, for the destination. So for the driver, him or her, the only stop they'll be making on the road is either to refuel at designated filling stations and continue their movement. So if you have reason on why they have to be stopped, nothing stops you from going to the police or to the military or to the DSS or any of those agencies and tell them that that motor is not only carrying cement, that there are some things, items that are not supposed to be there that is carrying. But it's not just to make that allegation. You have to come and prove it. Because Dangote, for instance, is a brand that will not want to associate themselves with it. In fact, they have a lot to do than to get themselves involved in illegalities. So if he's waiting for trucks of Dangote to be parked on the road and for either police or VIO or road safety to begin to check, what are you checking? These are people, they have possibly a transport department whose duty it is to be sure that all the papers are updated.
Okay.
And all the fees that should be paid to the agencies, all these internally generated, they have been paid. In terms of maintenance, they don't put any rickety vehicle on the road. They are good to go from here to Meduguri or to Yola. Theirs is just to convey the goods. So the man, because he sees suspicious vehicles, let me be frank with you. Some of those vehicles classified as suspicious have informants who are either patriotic or they have been shortchanged.
Okay.
And usually as whistleblowers, they will pass the information to the agencies on the road and say, look out for so and so lorry, check him. He's not only carrying the tomatoes or the onions or the beans that you're seeing, that if you check inside, there is marijuana, or that the man is carrying some firearms,
ammunition.
You understand what I'm saying? And when you check these things, it turns out to be true. Because they would have been there when the thing was being loaded, and he will just pretend as if he's one of the loading persons. And in the end, you have not settled him well. He has his way of passing the information across that they should look out for so and so lorry that is coming their way. That all these things you see, the cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, onions, I cover that inside there are cartridges enough to sack one state.
Wow.
I'm telling you. So these are the parameters or the grounds where they subject such vehicles to park them and possibly ask them to begin to offload the items. And customs too work the same way. Sometimes you see them on the road, you think they don't know what they are doing. In addition to doing their jobs, they have some intelligence. Somebody would have reliably told them, look out for this, look out for that. And in such things, you hardly see Dangote get themselves involved in that type of rubbish. They don't get involved in
so that's why they really don't bother these guys.
No, you don't. You don't even do that because you will incur their wrath. Especially when you check and you don't see anything, then you pay daily for it. The consequence will be very heavy on you. Of course. Reason being that you're delaying them. Their clients or customers are waiting for those items they are coming with, those products. And there's a timeline when they would have been expected to get to their destination and deliver and move on for other assignments. So you can't use frivolities to tie them down and expect them to clap for you. It doesn't happen that way now.
Okay. Well, thanks for that clarity there. Let's see if we can still take some more calls now. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Okay. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call this afternoon to be part of the conversation. Okay, I think very shortly I will go on a break, and when I come back, we continue. But then let's take this call. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, not Chief Timothy they talk.
All right.
Our visitor, I enjoy him talk well, but if I take on the other way around, it just be advice made them not take Dangote. I don't say Okrika. Now Dangote. Then they help me, they pass on. Sorry to say this. Make them take on. I know how much what they take, then catch me for Krika. From my side country,
na Dangote they help me with low price. Oga, let them check Dangote. You go they save, I go they save. Nobody know at all, but I don't do them. They don't help me. Especially those one who don't carry anything. And let them take the one we carry. If you see they are loading, he only they narrow. Some they over triangle. Let them try to check all of them. And they enjoy our program, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think that's an expose there.
Yes, that means he's an informant. Why did he not inform the appropriate authority? That is the type of information they are looking for now. If you come with concrete information, there's no way they will stop them to check. And that would have exposed some of those illegalities. But if you don't bring it to their attention, and then maybe you give a wrong information and you get them delayed, they will complain bitterly against you. They may not even take it personal that you are an enemy of progress. What is the offer? So you didn't see, don't you see that they are branded? They carry only cement or they carry floor of fertilizer and so on and so forth. So why would you want to delay their vehicles? So in this scenario, like he has just painted, it is clear that maybe they have dropped goods, so they are coming back empty. That's where they cash in on taking such things.
Helping people convey stuff.
That's why you say the prices are even low. They do low charges. Let them just keep going. So if the man who called is patriotic enough, anyway, he cannot complain against himself. That's why he was benefiting and enjoying the spoils of that mini smuggling. You know, I call it mini because it's okrika, and depending on the quantity.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the man has been trying to survive.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just on the road. I've been on traffic for like a couple of hours now, and I'm queued.
Did you say? Wait, please. Did you say hours?
Yeah. I'll be in the filling station around Texas for like 5 hours now.
God.
Filling station?
Yeah, looking for fuel. That's Nigeria we are now.
Oh no, too bad.
Yeah, good afternoon, the CP. Nice meeting you. A pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay, please, CP. There's something I want to ask.
Go ahead.
I want to maybe we are not in the. Maybe we don't have much idea on that. The reason I want to ask this question is this. I believe that maybe, I don't know, Nigeria is, even when the leaders tell us everything in Nigeria, anything goes. So maybe that's why sometimes people in authority, or maybe ordinary Nigeria, we don't know our right. Even if when you know it, you want to pursue it to legal conclusion, a logical conclusion, you might not get justice, the judiciary, there are a lot of things. But that's one thing that baffles me. Because most times I know that high-plex people like you from CP, if you want to do something, and the CSP, AD, and all the rest of them, you people will give you kudos, maybe because of experience, maybe because of exposure, maybe because of training and age like that. But there's one thing that gives me a little bit concerned, because ordinarily, even overseas, if, just take for example, let me just give just a simple thing. Maybe somebody make allegation, come to command area, Lagos State command, and say tenant and the landlord trigger something, spoil your house, and said, okay, 5 million in damage. Is it not the position of the law that, okay, you call the person, invite the person, whether he is there or he's not there, drop a letter that, okay, there is also allegation against you. Can you please come? Why is the CP? I don't know, because this is your office now. I don't know if because for any petition, there is a CP or CSP, depending, they must sign for that. Now, you have maybe a landlord and a tenant issue, and then you have I'm police 5 or 10 coming to your house. Even when they see you, said, okay, do you have any warrant of arrest? They say, oh God, above said you should come. There are certain things I believe that if you give notice, there is the position that, okay, I will have tried and give notice and you fail to honor our invitation. Therefore, forcefully, you will be apprehended. But there's an allegation which is not proven. Maybe the person knows the CP, maybe the person knows the CSP, or whatever it is. And before you know it, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., you see police people, because of landlord and tenants, will it want it?
Thank you for that.
My name is Emeka. I'm calling from First Task.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, that scenario you have presented is really pathetic for a landlord and tenant issue, degenerating to the extent of armed people coming to wake somebody up by 4 a.m. Ab initio, issue concerning tenant and landlord is purely a civil matter. So if by paraventure it degenerates, because what is in contention is pay me rent, you continue to enjoy the use of my property. If you cannot pay, you exit so that I'll put in another tenant. That's the rule of the game. So police should not come into it. Police can only come into it if in the course of arguments, it degenerates to either fight, which is affray, depending on the location of the fight.
Okay.
Or in the course of it, somebody inflicts injury on the other person, which is assault occasioning harm. Or may not even inflict injury, but push him out and maybe slap him. That one is assault. Or he discovers that you deliberately pulled out his door just to damage things. That is what they call malicious damage. In such scenarios, that's the only place police can come in. But that would not warrant them to carry arms and come by 4 a.m. just to pick the man. Is he a murderer or is an armed robber? Or a terrorist or a kidnapper?
Okay.
Is this class of capital-related offenses that people can go and lay ambush to, at all costs, arrest such felon? If it is landlord tenant, go and drop invitation letter for such persons to come and see the police. And then when the person comes, you confront him with all the allegations. Then if he or she has his defense or reasons for doing what he or she has done, they will give you all the reasons or the facts why the thing took the way or the shape or the dimension it went. So it's very wrong because you are having issues with your tenant. You can carry a lorry load of soldiers or police to come and wake the man up by 4 a.m. It's not done. It's very wrong. It would have been a different thing if they say there are arms. This man is stockpiling in his house.
Okay.
So anybody approaching will approach with caution. But when you say such things, be ready to prove it too. Because when they search the house with search warrant and they discover there is no arm, then that is giving false information.
Yeah.
And that can land you also into the custody of the correctional services if you are prosecuted.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Like I said, keep your calls coming in. I want to see how possible it is to take as many calls as possible this afternoon. Okay, I want to take them. Keep them coming in. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, 0700 903 903 903. Beautiful comments here. But then let's see. I'm trying to look at this comment. Okay. Now, okay, I understand. But then let's go on a short break. I And when I come back, we talk more. Stay there.
This is your number one radio station.
90.3. The one radio you tune in on your way home. This is the one.
BOP 90.3 FM. Taskforce. Interesting facts about the Igbo culture. Nigeria is arguably one of the many countries in the world with more than 100 different languages and ethnicities. Among the many cultures housed by Nigeria is the Igbo culture. The Igbos, as they're mostly called, are chiefly people from the southeastern part of Nigeria. They make up the second largest group of persons in this region, although they may be further categorized into subgroups with fascinating traditions and customs. The primary language for people in this region is Igbo with many dialects. Here are a few interesting facts about Igbo culture and its people. Number 1, great entrepreneurial drive. The Igbos are vastly known for their hustling spirit. They are great business people, and this drive gives enough room for success, hard work, and innovations. It is usually rare to find a lazy Igbo man or woman, and their diligence is like second nature for them. Number 2, scattered all across the world. The Igbo people are found everywhere in the world. As a result of their hustling spirit and their drive to succeed, they migrate to other places to either start up or expand their businesses. Number 3, rich culture and foods. The Igbo culture has many unique customs, festivals, and ways of life. The Igbos hold this in high esteem, and this is why wherever they find themselves, their culture and way of life tend to follow them. Number 4, mouth-watering soups. This culture houses very palatable and delicious foods, especially soups. These soups have become so popular that it is eaten in other parts of Nigeria that are not predominantly home to the Igbos. Because of how good they are, soups like oha, ofe nsala, white soup, ofe onugbu, bitter leaf, and banga are stars of any Igbo community. Number 5, strong cultural values. The 4 major values of the Igbo culture are hospitality, family, community, life, and respect for elders. These 4 values are emphasized throughout every Igbo household. Although today these values are constantly being confronted by Western civilization and globalization, the average Igbo community still holds these values there. Number 6, love for extended family. In this culture, there is great respect for extended family. This shows high regard for the other members who make up their clan. As a result of this love, the Igbos with their immediate family at the end of the year go to the village to celebrate with their extended family. Number 7, money lovers. An average Igbo man loves money and wealth, and this is no way strange, as they are hardworking people who make a living by working legally and smartly.
Some call it life adjustment, but our world has taken a different but dangerous look.
My husband does not just beat me up, but he uses an object to forcefully remove my finger right before my eyes.
Nigerians hate me. The God of heaven. Oh, God, go to my rescue.
With happenings that are alien to the human race.
I was in prison for 39 years for a crime I did not commit.
Since I clocked the age of 9, I have always been raped by my father. And now I am 18, and I still battle with him.
Unthinkable, unimaginable, and very unfriendly acts have been recorded in every sphere of human existence. Join Jude, Ikame Jude, on Matters, weekdays, noon to 3 p.m. on VOP 90.3 FM. As he dissects and addresses these challenges called the new norm in our political, social, religious, and cultural space. But then, are you comfortable with this new norm? Be part of this conversation, because your opinion matters.
Every day strike, ASU strike, market women strike, even Kole people they strike. We don't become control striker.
Even light self, they no fit give us. Don't run for motor. Even leg self, they get accident.
Why una dey complain? Why una dey complain? No una dey collect bribe, dey vote Sokoloko Bango share.
Ìṣèjọba tó dára òun là ń béèrè.
Anyị chọrọ ọchịchị onye kwuru uche ya. Anyị achọrọghị ọchịchị nchigbu.
Ala na-eze temeka muna so n'ekio.
Wetin we want na make the rule us well.
Don't Don't take it for noise. It's the people's voice. They have made their choice. Respect that voice for all to rejoice. VOP 90.3, Voice of the People.
Well, this is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's Thursday. We discuss insecurity, in Nigeria. And of course, if you're just tuning in, my name is Jude. Ikame Jude. And of course, I have CP Chuksinwonwu in the studio and answering some of these questions. All right. Yeah, if you still want to call in, you can. But for the purpose of, for the sake of those who are just tuning in, let me let you into what we've been talking about. Yeah, we've been discussing. First of all, we discussed the case of a soldier on Wednesday that was, a policeman that was beaten by a soldier on the Carter Bridge in Apogbo in the Lagos Island local government area of the state. It was gathered that a driver was conveying the soldier to a destination in the state when he drove against traffic and was stopped by a policeman attached to the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Unit, also known as the Taskforce, for violating the traffic law of the state. The soldier reportedly stepped out of the vehicle and challenged the officials for stopping the vehicle. In the process, the soldier and the policeman engaged in a shouting match, which degenerated into a scuffle between the soldier and a yet-to-be-identified cause. In a video trending online, the soldier was seen attempting to disarm the policeman, but the cop resisted the move and engaged the soldier in a fight. Other policemen and soldiers seen in the video attempted to separate the duo. Later, a tear gas canister was fired to stop the brawl. Yeah. And I also told you about some soldiers of the Nigerian army, in Wednesday morning beating up a policeman and an official of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority along the Eko Bridge in Lagos. According to the information gathered, the soldiers were on one way when the policeman and the last mile official stopped their vehicle and ordered them to turn back and take the right lane. It was learned that the situation became tensed after confrontations, as both parties could not come to an agreement. The soldier who refused to turn back reportedly pounced on the two officials and began to beat them. Now, it was also learned that another set of soldiers in a different vehicle who were driving on the right lane stopped when they noticed the scene and joined their soldier colleague in beating the official. Now, we touched on that. Now, this is where we're going to this afternoon. On May the 7th, 2022, a fully kitted, in a police uniform and brandishing AK-47 rifle, a Corporal Isaac Matthew, attached to the Airborne State Police Command, was filmed singing the praises of an individual. The act earned the corp a demotion. The video generated diverse reactions from the public. Similarly, on January the 2nd this year, a report exposed corps attached to a police station in Naija caught on camera drinking alcohol while on duty in their number at the station. The policeman had been transferred to a different station entirely. Now, I'm just trying to relate what we've been discussing, what we want to discuss now. Now, the cops were seen patronizing different alcohol vendors while in uniform around their station. Over the years, some bad eggs, in quote, among the nation's police force have dragged the image of the police in the mud. Harassment, brutality, illegal and unlawful detention, extrajudicial killings, and impunity, among others, are parts of the habit exhibited by some of the cops. Now, back in 2017, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, and of course the National Bureau of Statistics, ranked the country's police as the most corrupt institution in the country. That was then in 2017. Extortion and brutality by some of the cops led to the #EndSARS protests to demand the proscription of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, a unit in the force. Now, let me mention this again. Another corps serving at Shogunle Division, Lagos State Police Command, ASP Babatunde Adebayo, in April last year was seen in a trending video on the internet smoking marijuana in public in the Ijora area of the state. The video, which became an internet sensation, drew comments from citizens. The State Police Command arrested Adebayo and promised disciplinary action against him. In the same vein, a drunk policeman was seen in a viral video, in 2020, being mocked by two kids. He sat in the mud on the roadside, and of course the cop was also identified and subjected to a disciplinary action by the police. The Nigerian Police Act 2021 Section 101 stated that while on duty, I'm quoting it now, while on duty, a police officer shall not take any intoxicating liquor, right, or any substance or stimulant. Where he does, he shall be punished in accordance with the police disciplinary procedures. Now, CP, this is where I'm going to. Some stakeholders have actually advocated that there should be rigorous, or there has not been rigorous police hiring process, to curb some of these excesses. What would you have to say about that? That they have not been rigorous, very rigorous police hiring process. It's just like, it looks like one formality to some people. It's just gather them and let them, do some, little exercises here and there, train and, but that is not rigorous. What do you have to say about this?
Information is not correct.
You say what?
That impression or information is not correct.
Okay.
They do thorough screening.
You call it thorough screening?
Of course. Because they do medicals, they do medical check, they do physical check. They also subject them to computer-based tests, usually packaged by West African Examination Council, WAEC. So, and it's not an overnight thing. It's not something like you'll be sleeping in your house. They come and engage you, that you are now enlisted, come and begin training. No. You have to go follow those procedures rigorously, and in your application to be enlisted, you start it from online application. If the websites are open, once there is time for recruitment, then it takes time. When they do physical checks, they'll check your height, whether you have complied,
CB,
chest expansion.
I'm talking about hiring process to curb misconduct. You see, all of these things I read. I took time.
Yes.
To actually read all of them.
No. That's what I'm saying. That it is rigorous for you to hire him into the system. You understand what I'm saying? And having gone through that, the person goes for training. So if after training, the 6 months basic training, the person decides to behave otherwise, that means such a personnel has refused to be, for the training to pass through him. Maybe he passed through the training, he didn't allow the training to pass through him.
Okay.
That's what it is. But if the personnel had gone through the training, all the rudiments, and knows all the do's and don'ts, and come out to exhibit what he or she has imbibed in the course of passing through the depot, then these issues wouldn't arise.
CP,
Yes.
the issues shouldn't arise.
Yes.
This is where you have not actually touched where I wanted you to touch, what I want you to talk about.
Which area is that?
Now, some present Nigerians have opined that the hiring or police hiring process,
that is enlistment process. Good.
Should be
which I have told you that it is rigorous.
Should be more rigorous. Should
It's
be
already
more
rigorous.
tedious.
It is.
Because if not, like for instance in the US, I think the only thing recently we hear, killings, shootings, and all of that by maybe a drunk policeman or something, right? But here in Nigeria, some of them just have this nonchalant attitude. They like, you imagine this won't even go through any training, before he gets to this level. You begin to ask yourself.
It is unfortunate.
Let me take you down memory lane.
Go ahead.
CP. A report in 2017 revealed that I want this situation to be, I want to bring it to the open. I want to be clarified so that you know the area I want you to talk on. Now, in 2017, there was a situation that a report that came on board revealed that a drunk driving policeman crushed a graduate to death at around 8 p.m. at Bagada bus stop. Some of us remember that incident. In that same year, it was also reported that a sergeant identified as one Agu was caught smoking cannabis at a public event on Lagos Island. The sergeant was reported to have slapped the divisional police officer, Lion Building Police Division, Lagos State, who was instructed by the area commander, Area A Command, CSP Shola Akinyele, to arrest the erring cop after he was alerted by the public to the cannabis smoking cop. Now, recently, the first spokesperson Muyiwa Adejobi called the attention of the Kwara State Police Command to a picture of a cop of the command seen online with weed. So many others like that. So I still want you to, really speak on this.
Well,
I feel
that
the training so far has not been too rigorous.
What you're saying,
CP again.
There's no
would you
connection.
compare when you came into, what do I call that now? When you came on board the Nigerian police?
Yes.
Would you compare the level of training you went through with what happens now?
No, that you can't compare it.
Beautiful. I think we're there now.
You can't compare the two. But the thing is this: there's a disconnect somewhere.
Okay.
The training itself is to mold you to enforce laws. It does not completely change your character. Your character has already been formed. So if you're a bad type, it is difficult to change you to become somebody with a positive disposition. If, for instance, you are addicted to hard drugs, smoking India hemp, nobody will give you uniform to come and serve in either the police or any of the military or security agencies. Once it is established that you are a drug addict, nobody will engage you. Nobody will enlist you. But they hide all these terrible behaviors behind and come to pretend to be pious and saints to come in. And once they come in, no matter the training, they will excel in the training. Whether it is rigorous or not rigorous, when they are out, at the nick of time, they still show that latent behavior in them. In other words, what I'm saying is that the leopard cannot change its spots. It is when it starts exhibiting that it becomes clearer to you that this man, if this type of trait he possesses has been part of him, there's no way they could have even enlisted him in the first instance. But what happens at that point is that you have already trained him and you can't dispense with him anyhow because he has mastered the use of firearms. So if he goes out and finds it difficult to survive, he will take to crime. And it becomes more dangerous to the larger society. So when in the course of the career you discover such persons, you now try your best to contain him in terms of trying to reorientate and see whether it will work. You don't just throw him out like that because it will be counterproductive. He may go and form gangs, and having the knowledge of arms and ammunition, the society will now be at risk. Yes.
But don't you think this case of recruitment has gone beyond what you know or what you think? For instance, it has now entered the stage where it's all about if you know one Oga at the top, one high-ranked person like that in police,
because of the
and
level
they just
of,
slot you in. They just slot your name and that's it.
It's because of the unemployment situation that people throw caution to the wind. They now look for who will help them to get a job. Some even pay, from what we hear.
Good. I wanted to touch on that also.
From what we hear, I've not seen, but I heard that some people pay to go in. And that's why when they come in, they will now want to recover their investment, because to them it's an investment, and even make profit on it. That is why you see them, they'll be visiting the public with brute force by way of extortion and bribery and corruption. Because some of them may have either sold their family land or would have borrowed to go and buy their way into the service. As I'm talking, they said it's not only police, so it is all these other organizations, all these armed agencies, and non-armed even, all these ministries, departments, and agencies. If you don't know anybody, then get ready with cash. You buy your way in. That's as alleged, though. I've not seen where money is exchanged in hand for that purpose. But I've been hearing.
But wouldn't you want to also fault the process, as it were? Because, while commenting on the public acts unbefitting of a corps, one executive director, Rule of Law and Accountability Advocacy Center, Mr. Okechukwu, he attributed the situation to a faulty recruitment process into the force. Would you also, say the same thing?
I don't see his view in terms of the recruitment system being faulty. There is a standard.
You said while you came into the police force, it wasn't like what we have now.
Yes.
The standard you on the
what
standard
I went through
that was on ground.
Yes.
Then
that was then. Now a lot of things happen. From what we are hearing, it is a lot of things had gone haywire.
So what happened? Why the difference?
The difference is that the value has degenerated and keeps degenerating every day. Societal value. And it has ripple effects all around us. If, for instance, you see one useless, in quotes, village never do well person suddenly amasses wealth, nobody cares to ask questions. How did he come about this money he's flinging around? He comes in with fleet of cars, lives in a mansion, and people worship him. People don't ask questions again. What did this man do to make this type of money? So these are the things that is having spiral effects.
Okay.
So everybody now sees it as wild goose chase for wealth. Yes, because at the end of the day, you may zero it that the man does Yahoo, computer fraud, cyber crime, and, makes money by way of duping foreigners in foreign exchange. And he's living larger than life. So everybody wants to, it's like a rat race. Everybody wants to copy so that you now be respected in your community. Since those who have been able to eke a living from dint of hard work are no longer recognized or rewarded. So you can see the thing is spreading. Just like water is dripping here, you just drop your clothes. Before you know it, it has affected all the clothes packed there. So the same thing is applicable to the society. So you see yourself that if you come out committed, do the job with passion, end of the month, they'll pay you just that salary. You now remember you feed, pay school fees, pay house rent, clothe the family, not just yourself, and maintain the house. That's where some of them now begin to think outside the official income. How do I meet up with all these competing demands? That's where you see them do all sorts of things by way of extortion and corruption and bribery. We are not justifying it in any way, but I'm trying to tell you that that is what is putting them in that way of misconduct.
You recall that, the way people dread the Nigerian police in those days, in the 70s, in the 80s, up until 90s, middle 90s, around 95, 6, 7. When you hear a policeman is coming, you want to run away. But now the situation is different. People actually want to tell you, it's not a police, it's not a police station. Let's go now. Would you trace that as the reason why, it's becoming watered, on daily basis?
That's just what I finished analyzing now, that the value has collapsed. We need total reorientation, not only for police and other security agencies, but for the society itself. The society needs a thorough cleansing. We need to be refocused. We have to have a vision.
Is it a societal thing or on the part of the government?
All sides. You can't just heap everything. Who is government? Government is, it is you that supports the government to succeed. So everything should not be expected to be heaped on the steps of government. Okay, is it government that will encourage people to go and begin to do Yahoo, or to go into kidnapping and terrorism? The answer is capital no. It is that greed and quest for wealth acquisition, primitive wealth acquisition. So these days, nobody asks how you make the money. The only thing is, have you made it? Let's celebrate him. That is what has kept the society where we find ourselves today.
They say you've been erring police officers are always disciplined.
Of course.
But to what extent? Some of us, someone like me, feels that the level of discipline is kind of minimal. That's why some still go ahead. You hear something happened in Lagos today, and you hear another policeman doing the same in Oyo State. Because discipline is...
Now, there are two different environments, two different settings. If somebody commits an illegality in Lagos, and they pick him and sanction him to serve as deterrent to others, the man in Oyo is not aware that such a thing happened in Lagos because of the number of policemen we have. And furthermore, because of the flow of information and communication. So the man in Oyo may not even know what has happened to the man in Ogun State of similar scenario. So whatever he or she is doing, he feels that he's very clever and he cannot be tracked or traced. So he may even do the same thing that has landed somebody in problem in Lagos or Ogun, or even do a worse thing, something worse than the one in Lagos and Ogun may have committed.
Again, don't you think that the Nigerian police should make mental health evaluation a periodic exercise? Do they even undergo mental check? I'm talking about men of the Nigerian.
We have the medical services in the police.
Because we really need to check some people.
Psychological evaluation.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Let me be frank with you.
Okay.
Because of the manpower constraints or challenge the police have, virtually the man is tasked to always find himself engaged in various duties. Sometimes they don't even have time for themselves. If it were the good old days when you have enough manpower, they work for 8 hours per day and have off at certain times of the week so that they can go and rest, do their laundry, and prepare themselves for work again. But you come to find out now that the thing is no longer 8 hours. You hardly see people do 8 hours. It's 12 hours. And some, depending on where they stay. If he lives in Badagry and is serving in Ekpe or Ikorodu, do you expect him to just do 12 hours, go home, and tomorrow he's back to Ekpe again, all the way from Badagry? The answer is no. So some have rearranged it in such a way that they will do 24 hours so that it will be 1 day on, 1 day off. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And all these things are stressful, and it stretches one to the limits. That is why they hardly have time to go and do their medicals. Then talk of doing the psychological evaluation on a regular basis. That's the truth.
Still on this same issue, I remember Udein. Yeah. He said that that perfection is impossible anywhere in the world.
Of course.
We want the police force to be perfect, at least close to, if not perfect.
Yes.
But he said that perfection is impossible anywhere in the world. He said that the advent of social media had made it possible for things to spread fast and selectively. Do you agree with him?
Of course. The social media exposes a lot. Within a short duration of time, everybody is viewing it all over the world. It goes viral. That is why the police officers who are public officials have to put their houses in order. What that means is that having known that any infractions, the person you underestimate or somebody you look down on can take his phone and capture all your activities. And it becomes worse for you if those activities are nefarious. So it is better you do the right thing and avoid problems for yourself than to do the wrong thing, and before you know it, they are viewing you in Australia and as far as Alaska or Moscow.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Now you can call in to be part of the conversation again, okay? Yeah, don't forget we're still streaming, always streaming live. You can watch us right now And like I said, always learn to drop a comment. Always be part of the conversation. It's very, very important. Okay, on YouTube, VOP 90.3 FM on the search bar would help you watch us live and will help you comment also. VOP 90.3 FM, or in full, Voice of the People 90.3 FM on YouTube. Okay, and our WhatsApp number, don't forget, you can save it straight up, is 0700 903 9039. Did you get that? Let me take it again. 0700 903 9039. Okay? That's the number to call. That's the number to send your WhatsApp messages to. All right? Yeah, let's do that quickly. Then if you want to call in, 0700 903 903 903 is the studio number. 0700 903 903 903 is our special number. Let's go there. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah, I greet your guest.
Good afternoon to you too.
Yes, my name is Peter. I am calling from Dimo.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, before I thought Nigerian police are the worst people, but not knowing that there are so many numbers of them that are good out there to be even given a national award. I remember in 2010, I went to a party with my mother's car at Badagry. On my way coming back, I passed through Iboele and the car was snatched from me. So I was like, okay, my friend, let's look for Okada and just go back to our home. Getting to Igondu, Weda Akeson, I saw some policemen. I discovered the car was there. I saw some policemen. Those people that snatched the car from me, they were people that I even knew very well. So I was able to recover the car that same night from them. See, it doesn't matter that maybe some of them are bad, all of them are bad. It's just like your same radio station. There's some of you are good, and some of you in that same radio station are even worse than these policemen we are talking about. Some of you we publish a very good news, and some will publish fake news because of little things that are being given to them by politicians. Yes. So it is things of the whole Nigeria. We should change our attitude. If we are comparing Nigerian police to US or whatsoever, those people they obey law and they are not work. But in the country here, everybody behave the way like Accountant General of Police, Accountant General that was arrested recently by DSS. Is he a policeman? He was so corrupt to the extent he embezzled about 800 and something billion. So it is things of all of us. I really commended some of them. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. Some of them are bad doesn't mean that all of them are bad. That is what I'm trying to emphasize. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Some are good.
Yes. In every 12 there's Judas. So you can't expect all of them to be good. Some are good. Bulk, good number are good. Then some are bad. That's why I say it's a question of background. If you do a background check, you find out that some of them from tattered homes are the ones that are displaying those vices you have been bringing out, like smoking marijuana and drinking.
All of those vices. Right?
Yes.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, do what to call back, okay? Please do what to call back. 0700 903 903 903 is the number. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Agree CP.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is Mr. Sunday from mainland.
Welcome.
I wanted to report. My name is Mr. Sunday from mainland.
Go ahead.
I wanted to report Dirty Police Station because something happened last year, November. I went there to go and learn complaint. I spent 8,000 naira, but these people could not arrest that man that made that problem that very night. The second morning, I went there also. They complained. They followed me. They cannot be able to arrest the same person till now. They say I should go and look for 10,000 after spending 8,000 in the Genti police station. Even before they answer me that very day, it is that they're twisting me. We arrange a box, we are arranging computer this. Just I started to Marwa with them. They can now arrest them from Obitemeta, this Paco area in Oyibo. This Obitemeta, that's what the thing happened. And I went there, I spent 8,000 naira with them for entry. They cannot easily arrest this man in today. So I should go and look for that 10,000 and making 18,000. So now, I'm very happy that I hear your voice because I always listen to this station every day. Morning, night, I always listen to this station. That's why I was complaining. So please help us in that density process to be doing their work very well. To not be maybe they're expecting money, looking for money without doing job. Even they're supposed to call me. So, okay, boy, you already spent 8,000, come back so we know what to do to go arrest this man. This man beat somebody who blood from that person. Even to extent the police will even snap, see the evidence of the blood and everything, they cannot do anything till today. Collected 8,000 in a Genti police station. Today now, that's why I left the case, because of the way them acting. They will push it to this, push it to this, push it to here, push it to here. They cannot even give you if somebody will stand that he will handle the case for you. They will push you around, collecting money from here. This happened November last year. I'm very happy. I've been listening to this thing for more than many this program now. I've been listening to the program since I said I will call. Please, in the Genti police, let them very well to be doing their job, not money. Even if they want to have money, they collect money from them to do the job very clear. Arrange the person. The first to come is first complaint. They will go arrange that person for the person, not to collect money without doing the job. Because the only money that enter police and they cannot collect it back. They cannot be forced them to bring the money back. No. So airport will address them very well. Please, sir. My name is Mr. Sunday Attaché. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. It's all right. It's all right. 0700 903 903 903. We have less than say around 20 minutes to wrap up. Just 20 minutes to wrap up. So you just you send your messages, okay? And of course you can call in to lay your complaints.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Clement calling from Atawa State.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a complaint I want to pour out over the Nigerian police.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I reported the issue in Apapa police station 3 years back. I have to pay money to register the case. After register the case, I have to pay money to empower vehicle to go and pick the complainant. On getting there, we cannot append the complainant. So they say I should go, anytime I see the complainant, I should call them back. On surfacing the complainant, I called them, they say they don't have fuel, that I should come and reinforce them. So that's why I just allowed that issue to go. So I don't understand. If you have a case to complain, so you need to pay for fuel after register your case again. That's my complaint. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. CP, you want to say anything, Pastor?
Let me correct him. He is the one that is the complainant. The man he was looking for, or is still looking for, is the suspect. And the way the system works is such that if you complain, the onus is on you to lead the police, you the complainant, to lead the police to who the suspect is and identify him. In some cases, depending on the nature of the case, it may not require you even going there. You only do a petition. So long as there's an identified address, you give the name and possibly his phone number. They'll go and drop letter of invitation and tell him to come. And at the appointed time, you, the complainant, should be in the station. They may even call him on phone and get him and tell him, we need you, there's a complaint against you. And he will come. The only one that is difficult is one. If it is a glaring criminal offense, maybe the man would have removed somebody's tooth. And he knows that he falls within two categories. Assault, occasioning harm.
Okay.
Or you can even tag attempted murder. Because if you...
Really?
Yes, if you could remove tooth or set of teeth, nothing stops you from even... Because there will be so much loss of blood that the person can pass out. So in that case, you may not even begin to drop invitation, because such a person would have taken to his heels. He may even relocate completely, knowing fully well the implication of what he or she has done. So in that case, if you report to police and they expect the man to wait for you, you're wasting your time. So if you go and bring police and come, you're not able to lay your hands on the man, no matter the method you want to use, and they go back. They have not seen the person. They don't have you. Even if you give them the photograph, they don't know him. So it's still left for you to make efforts to see how you'll be able to corner the man and invite them to come. That man we've been looking for, we have finally seen him. This is where he is. Then the police will do the needful. But if you just report to them and fold your hand and expect them to go and look for it, they are not magicians now. How would they know the man? It will be very difficult, except in cases like I told you, where the person is a known figure and cannot run away from matters. Once you drop invitation, he will look for you. He will come and say, yes, I am so and so, and I learned you're looking for me. What is the problem? Then you can face yourselves during an interview session with the officer in charge of the investigation. Maybe the divisional crime officer, or sometimes it might even warrant you being presented to the divisional police officer, the man in charge of the station.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's take this call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
I'm Patrick from Kota.
Patrick.
Yes, from Kota.
All right.
I just want to lay a little complaint, and I just want to know if it is normal. That was last week. I was coming from Mushin. So I was inside the Keke Napep. So the policeman stopped me, and they asked me what was inside my bag. And I told him that I'm a cobbler, I make footwear, that is materials, that I have materials inside my bag. After telling the man that I have some materials inside my bag for making shoes and pants, the man asked me to bring out everything inside the bag. And I was not bringing out everything. And he saw that the bag, but what my complaint is, he asked me what was inside the bag. I told him what was inside the bag. But still, said I should start bringing out everything inside the bag. Then I brought out all the whole materials. Then I said, okay, no problem. He now left me and went. So I was now asking that why this man can't ask me this question when he knows that, when he still wants me to bring out everything. So I just want to know if it is normal for a police officer to act like that, or you should just leave it. So that's what I want to know. I want to just know if it's normal. Because then I was even scared, because the way the man just said, start bringing out everything. I was like, oh, God, I don't think you should do that. I have to bring out that for that in the market.
All right.
So I just want to confirm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the policeman was being very professional. What he did is normal, or both under the law and by the norm. It is very, very okay. The shoe cobbler may be I don't want to use the word innocent, may be an honest person. And that was why he told him he's a cobbler, that what he has inside the bag are his materials for shoe repairs and shoe making. Some could be carrying maybe cartridges or arms and ammunition inside that bag. And they will claim to be shoe cobbler. So that means the policeman is not a seasoned or diligent police officer by believing what you have told him. Why must he believe you? Does he even know you? You come and tell him you're carrying shoemaking materials. You expect him to say, okay. That means people will carry even money they have stolen from somebody's house and tell them that it is tools, that is a mechanic, that he will need to see it to be convinced. And he does it discretionally. He doesn't do it to everybody. Okay. So sometimes your looks even give you out. When they look at you, you look a bit haggard, and you look like somebody who has committed an offense. The way your eye movements and your body language, it becomes suspicious. But he will not tell you that he's suspecting you as a criminal. He will only ask you some fundamental questions and expect you to open, let him just see and be sure. Then when he sees, it's okay, just go. But sometimes you open, you will find out that what you have told him is different from what he's seeing. Then he can now probe further to know, how did you come about this? You know, if, for instance, you say you have items that you are a mechanic or a vulcanizer, they open the bag and begin to see phones, you know, maybe laptops, other items. So the next thing he will do, why did you tell me that it is spanner and mechanic items that are here, and I'm seeing something different? I'm seeing iPad, I'm seeing laptops. Okay, come. Who are the owners of this? That's the second stage. You now begin to make Then they say, okay, you repair them, bring the owners. Let's go to the station. I want you to make statement, because first and foremost, you told me it is items for vulcanizing or vehicle repairs. So one thing leads to another. So it is lawful and it is normal. It's a norm and it's going by the rules.
Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, let's talk to this person again. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. I'm speaking from Ojodu Baga area.
Okay.
Wale is my name.
Welcome, Wale.
Sir, good afternoon, CP.
Good afternoon to you, Wale.
Yeah, there's one thing I want the police to look after on all this downfall. They normally seal their glasses, even the back glasses is normally sealed. They used to buy the paper. It's not from factory. Those glasses are windscreen. They are not from. Majority of it are not factory fitted. They buy paper. They sell the paper everywhere. They will seal up the glasses. By the time they are robbing people inside that downfall, these one chance people, by the time they are robbing, you will not know. Even vehicle coming behind will not take any notice because it's not seeing anything that looks like that. So the security people should look after that to make sure all these vehicles, those who buy papers to cover their glasses, are made to remove it. And other things they write on the glasses so that to distract attention should be stopped forthwith. They should seize the vehicle and make sure they remove all those things before they give them back. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much for that information. The message will be circulated accordingly to the appropriate quarters so that they do the needful to ensure public safety.
Thank you so much, CP. All right. I think we have less than 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes just to run. Yeah? Yeah, less than 5 minutes. Can I still go on a short break? Oh, I'm not sure. Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome.
My name is Wiz. I'm from Ocean.
Okay.
Last 2 weeks, I went to a police station to complain. Say, all these Igbo boys, they used to disturb me from my shop. So, and as I went there, the way the policeman take answer me, He look as he say he's fearing Olusumbali boys. They used to come my shop, come carry ground toy without any permission. So I don't know
where is your shop located?
Ejibo.
Olusumbali, that roundabout for Olusumbali.
Where?
Okay.
Olusumbali.
Which area? Which area is that?
Ejibo, Olusumbali.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Ejibo,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know.
For anybody to come to your shop to remove your item without your consent is what they call stealing, outright stealing. So if you are able to identify people who have been coming to remove it, you go and report to the police, and then be sure that the police looks into it, and be sure you are able to identify the right person for possible arrest and investigation. Nobody should discourage you not to pursue your case, because if you keep quiet, they will keep coming back to do the same thing. So if you meet a wrong policeman who tries to pervert the cause of justice, leave him and go to a higher level. Go to a senior officer and drop your complaint. There's no responsible senior officer that you complain to that will say that you don't have a case. When there is glaring case of stealing, he cannot compound felony. So he will be sure that the thing is followed, because if you take it lightly, the thing will even exacerbate. The next time you come, you won't even see anything in your shop again. They'll come and put a pickup and clear off everything. They'll say, well, the other one we took one keg of...
they didn't say anything.
They didn't do anything. Nothing happened. So maybe if I carry a carton of vegetable oil, nothing will happen. Then the next one, maybe if I load the pickup with everything, both Indomie and tomatoes and all that, nothing will happen. So you better follow this advice.
All right. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. CP, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, my brother.
Well done, sir.
Well done.
This is Ahmed Fato Imbo from Surulere.
Okay.
Please, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
I want to ask a question, sir. You are talking, when you talk about the training, that we all know that most people that engage in police and some other security things, they pass through the training.
Yes.
But now, as police are concerned, we know that they pass through the training as well. I'm very sorry to ask this question. During their training, they have the opportunity to drink alcohol during their training? And that is number one. Number two is this. If they pass the training area through the training, we know that they pass through the training. Do they test their blood after they finish their training before they will now be posted to their beat? Because of what is happening now, we all know that what is happening now leads these people to do what they're not supposed to do. After they drink or they drunk, they will now do what they're not supposed to do. Some of them may not even have the mind of killing or shooting. But once they have already drink, they are becoming another thing entirely. So that is the question I want to answer. And lastly, maybe they have punishment for that. If the people discover that this person, what he did is very wrong, and he's not supposed to drink when he's on duty. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Yes.
You want to say something?
Yes. For your information, the last caller's information, there is no training where consumption of alcohol or smoking of weed or hard drug is tolerated. I stand to be contradicted. It is not part of the training process. So those misbehaviors are personalized to the individuals. And that is why I tell you, people come with their formed behavior before they join the system. So, like I've always maintained, Leopard cannot change his sport. You cannot change the man. It's already part and parcel of him. The only thing you try to do is to mold him and reorientate him. And that is why, like all the places I've served, I always warn them that once you are on duty, don't go near alcohol. Because if you are caught, you'll be sanctioned heavily. It might even cause you to lose your rank. Because when you are intoxicated, you can do all sorts of things unknowingly. You are now under an influence of intoxicant or alcohol. But since it has already become part of you, when you are off duty, you have returned the arms to the government, remove the uniform. You are not in your beat. You are on your own. If you like alcohol, go and drink. But if you have sense, don't drink too much. Just drink limited quantity that will make you happy. You go and sleep and prepare because another work is coming the next day. If you are off today, you are on tomorrow. But once in that uniform, you don't. That is why and where you have this incidence of accidental discharge.
Okay.
Because they are no longer in control of themselves. So it's highly discouraged. There's no, like I repeat, there's no training institution where you come in and they encourage you to drink alcohol or take drugs, hard drugs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. CP, I have to say, at this point, I need to say thank you so very much for making our time to come to the studio again today to have this very robust discussion. It's been a very, very powerful one today, I must say. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank
to see you again on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
By the special grace of God.
Yes.
Thank you. He is CP Chuks, one former commissioner of police in Oyo State. He will be here again on Tuesday, by the special grace of God. Yeah, he will be here. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Time to go. I want to say thank you so very much to all of you who called in and those who couldn't call or who listened. Thank you and thank you again. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. I'm always here. I do this every weekday. Okay? Yeah, I do this every weekday, Monday through Fridays. Let's do this again tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow for the Friday edition of Matters on this super dial, on this mega dial 90.3 FM. Do well to follow us across all of our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please like and follow us, okay? And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get all of the information that you need on daily basis. Yeah, for me, it's on social media. Just go there and check up Ikami Jude, IKAMIJUDEH. Yeah, again, IKAMIJUDEH on all socials. Thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow by the special grace of God. On tomorrow, good afternoon and have a wonderful day.